On the back of this page, on page 2, we are going to look at that case that I say you guys always make up. The a plus b square equaling a squared plus b squared. And we're going to look at that a couple different ways. We're going to use an example. So let's let a equal, let's say -2, and we'll let b equal +3. And we're going to plug those numbers in and see if it comes out to be true or not. So in this first one, we get -2 plus 3 quantity square equals -2 quantity square plus 3 quantity square. Do y'all need to get that?
No.
Okay.
Mom's gonna get it.
Okay, so what is -2 and 3?
1.
1. So that's going to be 1 quantity square. What is -2 squared? -2 times -2 would be
Yep.
4.
4.
Plus 3 times 3 would be 9.
9.
What is 1 squared?
1.
1.
What is 4 plus 9?
13.
13. Last time I looked, 1 wasn't equal to 13.
No.
Okay, did I not do that right? Did I do it right?
You did. I think.
4 plus, I just added it wrong here on my notes, but it still came out right, which tells you no, these aren't equal. If you looked at it another way, just a little bit picture-wise, if we said this was A, and this was B, and this was A, and this was B, like our block, right? Here's would be our A square, right? And here would be our B square, but we got these two things we haven't even taken into account. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
So you can't fill up the whole square unless you got these parts here. This would be what? AB, this would be AB, so I'd end up with 2AB. Okay, so that's another way to look at it. Let's look at it graphically. We're going to graph these two things on your paper real quick. So it says let B equal 2. So let me erase this. And we're going to put in y sub 1 equals x plus 2 quantity square, and y sub 2 equals x squared plus 4. Well, let's just remember how to graph here real quick. Okay, this is my x-axis, this is my y-axis. All right, now let's graph y2 first because I just think it's easy. All right, it's just your standard parent graph of x squared, only it's going to go through at 0, 4. Does that make sense? It's just moved, it's shifted up 4, so it's actually going to start here, and it's going to go 1 over here and 1 over here, and it'll be like, it's going to go out kind of like that there. Are you seeing that? So that's my y sub 2. Now if you look at this, this is kind of in what we thought of as vertex form. Our A is 1, and our K is 0. So where is the vertex on this puppy?
Up to.
0, 2.
Not quite, because
no.
0 is my K, which is my Y
Yeah,
value.
2 cross 0. Or -2.
It's -2.
Oh,
Remember, because it's y equals A times x minus h, quantity squared plus K. It's a little hard to see that it's in vertex form. But my vertex is going to be at -2, 0. You should be able to tell right then they're not the same thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
If I go over 1, up 1, it's going to be here. Back 1, up 1, it's going to be here. Over 2, up 4, back 2, up 4. So it's going to go kind of like that there. Though that looks more like an absolute value. Sorry, my curve's off. Are you okay with that? So they're not the same at all. All right. So graphically, if you looked at, well, when we looked at the box, they weren't the same. When you do the algebra, you plug in a number, they aren't the same. So do you think you're going to remember that a plus b quantity squared is not a squared plus b squared? I hope so. All right, let's look at it algebraically real quick. We have a plus, whoops, let me just erase this. Well, start with a blank slate. All right, a plus b quantity squared equals a squared plus b squared. So we're going to rewrite this as a plus b times a plus b, because whenever you have a square as an exponent, it means you multiply everything inside that parenthesis by itself that many times. A squared plus b squared. So now we're going to do our FOIL, first, outer, inner, last. First gives me a squared, outer gives me ab, inner gives me ab, and last gives me b squared. Okay? And if I a squared plus 2ab plus b squared Are those the same? No, they are not. Algebraically, they are not the same. Okay, so we looked at it graphically, boxily, numerically, symbolically, blah, blah, blah,
Boxily.
blah. Well, with the box. That's a new term. Okay, we can kill that.